Hi there YouTube, welcome back to my channel and a brand new episode of NF Reacts. In today's video I'm going to take a look at Tom MacDonald's song called Sheeple. Tom MacDonald is an independent unsigned artist who makes music and more precisely rapping in his videos and music, creating such a big buzz in the world of music. Tom MacDonald regularly makes headlines on Twitter, Instagram, and sometimes even the mainstream news because he calls it as he sees it. Now, agree or disagree with his viewpoints, that is up to you. But I particularly enjoy his music, and some of the stuff that he says I actually agree with also. Of course, not all of what he's saying, but there are sometimes some things that he says that I really agree with and can relate to. So today's song is called Sheeple, and I think it has something to do with people acting like sheep, basically following the herd, a herd mentality if you want. So I have no idea what to expect from this music video, but let's check it out together.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis. Controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control all the political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, if gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions.
Wow. Just from the offset, yeah, I mean, it started off with a bang, and again, he's kind of calling it out as he sees it. And again, if you agree or you disagree, that's not the point here. For me, at least, I'm looking at it. I do agree with some of what it is saying. We specifically saw that over the last few years, especially in the USA and the UK. But besides the message, I actually enjoy the music. I mean, I said it in his first video that I reviewed, where every word that he's saying or that he's rapping is very clear. You can actually hear and understand the words to the song, where a lot of other rappers in the world, some of them who might be considered as bigger than Tom MacDonald in the music industry, you cannot hear or understand a word that they are saying sometimes. It's mumbling. So I think they refer to it as mumble rap. Tom MacDonald, on the other hand, every single word that he is saying is clear. You can hear and understand the words that he's saying. So that is, again, something that is very interesting to me in his music. But besides that, he also writes, produces, and releases all of his stuff by himself. I mean, he might have someone assisting here or there, and his girlfriend or wife or whatever, and sometimes other people that helps him. But he doesn't have like a team of 10 writers writing a song for him. He actually writes and produces everything by himself, which is an honorable trait in this industry. And getting as big as Tom MacDonald has gotten in terms of music, it is unheard of how really, really talented this guy actually is, in my opinion, at least.
They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing in your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleek, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout, and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being
And I like that. That's a really interesting point. People like to say, it's left or right or whatever, but the fact of the matter is that why can't you kind of be agreeing with some of the left and some of the right at the same time? Centrists, or central viewpoint at least, where yes, on the right there might be stuff that you agree with, but there are very often stuff that you don't agree with, and same can be said for the left hand side as well. It is interesting to see what's happening in the world, specifically, like you mentioned, places like Hollywood and the music industry, where things are either that way or you go somewhere else. This is the way that we do it, or you don't fit in at all. And I think this is where Tom MacDonald is completely out of the loop, right? He doesn't fit in with that crowd because he doesn't really agree with all of their viewpoints. And it's interesting that he says, it might be left, might be right, but why left or right? Because both of them are sometimes bad. Interesting.
woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree, it's free speech. Disagree, it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheeple. What do y'all believe? My sheeple. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy.
Before we go on, I mean, I love the kind of one of those machines seems to be waking up, right? I love that whole analogy of waking up, basically, and seeing what's happening. I think that is at least what the video is seeming to point out, is that somewhere along the line, someone is waking up. Someone is seeing what is happening around them and not just following like sheep in the herd.
Conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police, now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you, they don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Man, what a powerful video. Now, again, guys, if you agree or disagree with what he's saying, that is kind of besides the point for this video of mine, at least. I happen to agree with some of what he is saying, and I think that there is really something happening in the world, and we are just all following like sheep. And if we don't say something, well, we might wake up in a world that we do not recognize anymore. And I think that is what we are seeing slowly every day. And Tom MacDonald, on the other hand, like I said, is kind of a controversial figure because he calls this stuff out and he's not afraid to say it. He's kind of uncancelable because of the fact that he doesn't have a music label behind him. He does everything independently. So he cannot be cancelled. He cannot lose his job. He can be successful or unsuccessful. And I can tell you one thing, the fact is that his music is extremely successful. I'm talking under correction, but I think his last single that he released was Ghost, if I remember correctly, was at the top of the Billboard chart for quite a long time. It was the number one hit song. And that is a really amazing feat on its own. And he's doing it on his own without any outside label help, without monetary backing from an outside label or the Hollywood or music industry. So that is why he is so influential when it comes to this type of stuff. He's unafraid to say what he thinks. And that is, well, it's that's what free speech is supposed to be like. He should be able to say whatever he wants without fear of being persecuted for what he says or what he believes. So I really enjoyed it. I actually like his music. I like his message in general. A lot of what he's saying is great, in my opinion, at least. But let me know what you guys think of Sheeple. And if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please leave a like on this video, share it to someone else, leave a comment for me down below with perhaps another video suggestion. And if you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button to support me and these videos. As always, I will leave a link to this video and Tom MacDonald's YouTube channel in the description down below, so please go and check out the rest of his stuff as well. If you want to see some of my other video reactions, you can click this top link over here. Or if you want to see some of my original music, you can click this bottom link over here. But until I see you in the next video, cheers.